Is DJ Thielen, and today we're bringing you episode 7, can't believe it, of the Art of High Ticket Wholesaling. And I have a very, very special guest, Stacia Kennedy, with me today. She's my personal marketing mastermind, rock star assistant for like doing my Facebook ads, our company's marketing, things like that. So welcome, Stacia.
Thanw you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I know we were just chatting a little bit before. So flower in the hair represents, obviously, Hawaii.
Yes, I'm originally from Honolulu, Hawaii. And people always ask me the right or the left. It's on the left, so I am taken. I'm married.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So if you have it on the right, you're single. If you have it on the left, you're married.
Okay. What if you're married but not happily married? Then what do you do?
Maybe you're confused and you should put it right in the back here.
You just have it sticking straight up?
Yeah.
So for everybody, today on the show, we're gonna bring to, obviously the purpose of the show is to bring all of you a weekly. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is to bring. I'm bringing my mic a little closer to bring everybody. Just content, free content, great advice on how they can do this better, how they can do that better, be it that they're flipping or wholesaling property. So a little, Stacia, share with us first, kind of your, where you came from, and kind of how you got into the, helping business owners and people, build their own brand on social media.
Yes, I love it. I love helping people, and how I got started is actually a really great story. My mentor, which we were just talking about him, Thielen. I was at an event and I had known him from a few different other people, and I've been running in a few different circles.
We got to mention Thatch because now since we mentioned Thatch, Thatch is a rock star. Now we can share this on his wall. So
yes, exactly. Yeah, share it with him. He'll probably jump on and see this. But yeah, I'm so grateful to this man. He's actually been my mentor for over 10 years now, I guess. I met him back in 2008, 2009, and knew him from a few different circles, not very well, but I was at an event, a nonprofit event that he was speaking at, and I filmed him speaking at the event and posted it on Facebook and tagged him. And he was like, how did you do that? I need someone to do that for me, like 24/7 all the time and help me grow my brand. He was just, in that time in 2008, the market turned. So he really was affected by the market and was restarting his real estate brand. And at that time, Facebook just kind of opened it up to the public. It was just for, the college students, and it just opened up to businesses and other public people. I just started using it to share awesome content, like an awesome people that I would meet at networking events. And that's how I built my network. I basically just would meet someone cool in person at a networking event, friend them on Facebook, and then just share it with my friends and family and everybody that, that was connected with me, and say, I just met this awesome guy. I just met DJ. He's a great coach and trainer. You guys, if you ever need that, go ahead and contact him. And that's how I built my network, was just doing that. And that's how I got my start, is doing that same thing with Thatch. He hired me, which was supposed to be just a temporary, let's see how it goes, for 6 months, that ended up being my 6 or 7 years with him.
Yeah. It's funny how stuff like progresses, Stacia, exactly what you're talking about. A guy named Lewis House, who I told you, the funny story how I saw him on the street here in Hollywood outside of our office a couple weeks ago, and he was on his phone, and my wife's like, oh, don't bother him. I go, I don't care, and I said hi to him. But that's how he started. He was in, obviously, Gary Vaynerchuk's recent book, Crushing It. Yeah, I was looking for it. Crushing It. So he was in there in his story on how he built his following on LinkedIn and how he was basically just started connecting people, right? That's how he started. And now, it's, I think #1 podcast in maybe the world. He's, one of the most influential guys, out there. And so, it's interesting that you started doing that same thing before you read or knew, like, hey, this is really, let me just add value to this person and see how I can help them. And from that, he reached back to you and some good things. Because I think so many wholesalers and so many people flipping out there, it's listen, you guys, if you're making it about you, you're going to lose. If it's all about how you can make money, how you can make $1, I got to do a deal, I got to do a deal, I got to do a deal, you're going to lose. How people are winning, how you're going to win. You might win the sprint, but this is a marathon. So how you're going to win the marathon is exactly what Stacia's talking about, right? Like adding value. How can I add value to this investor? How can I help this investor solve this problem that they're having about not being able to get properties or having this issue or that issue? And so anyways, kind of off on a tangent here, but I want to encourage you guys to really hear what Stacia has to say today and take these little nuggets that she's sharing with you, really, really catch these nuggets because they're super valuable. And if you take them and implement them, they can absolutely make a massive impact on your business. So anyway, Stacia, go ahead. So you started, I always love hearing stories like that because like it inspires me because, you started doing this just on your own. You didn't read about it. You didn't hear Lewis Howes talking about it on his podcast. You're just like, hey, let me help this guy that is a really good guy, Thatch, that's very successful and has some pretty cool cars. and basically, let me just help this guy, right? And from that, he reaches back to you, and now he becomes this mentor, very good friend, probably like a brother, I'm sure. Yeah. And what you got out of serving somebody, what you got back was, 100-fold of anything probably you could have imagined. So pick up kind of from where, how that happened and how, by adding value to him and kind of where, your transition into what you do now.
Sure. Actually, to even go further and maybe even get deep here on the podcast here is I was in a really bad place. I actually on my way to interview with him when we had a couple conversations over the phone after, like I said, and he wanted me to meet with his wife. I actually I used to be a single mom. I'm now married, like I said, but I used to be a single mom for 10 years. And at the point I had lost pretty much everything. I had started a business, moved back to Hawaii, where I'm originally from, and then moved back to Seattle with my mom. So I kind of have a similar story to Lewis Howes, where I was basically on the couch back at my mom's house. The day that I was supposed to interview with Thatch and his wife, I literally had my car repossessed. And wow. I had to go to Marysville from Kirkland, where I lived, to Marysville to get the car out of repossession. I had to come out. I basically walked out of my house, had no car, figured out I was repossessed. I had to go, borrow money from friends and family to get the money, have my stepdad drive me all the way to Marysville, and then grab my car and drive my way back to downtown Seattle and pretend that everything was great and fine and really be of service to Thatch and Cammie and let them know how I could serve them. No matter, I didn't care how much I was going to get paid or what the situation or what they were looking for. I just knew that I wanted to work with them somehow. And I wasn't going to put my situation out there because, I could have. There was like a friend of mine saying, well, they're successful. They have lots of money. You should ask them for money up front. And I said, no. I'm going to just be of service. I don't care what it is. I'm just going to tell them, what I think social media and how I could help them and how I could serve them and see what happens. I'm not going to, put that stuff on them at all. I'm not like, it's none of the, it's something that I'm working out and I'm, just going to act as if, as they say, act as if. So I literally,
you know what, Cynthia? That is a massive, massive thing that we see, right? Because we talk to people. My team talks to people, I should say, daily, that are struggling to wholesale, struggling flipping, and because they're so focused on them, you know, a lot of times, and we see this over and over and over. I mean, thousands, you know, if not thousands, hundreds of people that they get so locked into them and they're focusing. Here you are, right? Working with basically going to meet with the guy that you know, whether you knew it or not at the time, you know, obviously multimillionaire, very successful, and probably neighbors to Bill Gates or someone over there. But so here you go to meet with this guy that has the money. That if you were focused on, you know, oh, I gotta, you know, lock this deal in. I need to pay my rent, right? Or I really need to have this deal go through and pick up a check today. And had you had that intention and had you had that heart, what would have happened would have probably been a complete 180, because he's a smart guy. He would have picked up on that and sensed that. But because you operated from a place of serving, it's so crazy that we're talking about this, because this isn't scripted, but we talk about this all the time, is serve, serve, serve. Stop selling and start serving. And so by serving him and doing this, what was the outcome? What happened?
You know, people can feel your energy, and that's just a very, you know, energetic person. And no matter if you believe in the higher power or whatever, people can feel your commission breath. Okay. So they definitely, you know, knew that I had a good heart, and they were excited to want to work with me. And, you know, basically it turned into a 6 years, almost 6 or 7 years, until I decided that, you know, I grew enough to go on my own.
Awesome. And so, and I just saw your little one behind you. So you served this guy, he took you under his wing. You became, you know, obviously a game changer. And you guys did you know, these basically, there she is saying hi. These, you know, these things we don't script, as I told Stacia, we don't plan questions. So it's really awesome the direction is, because this is all massively exactly what we talk about is, you know, serving. Stop selling and start serving. And so many people, Stacia, you know, hopefully your story encourages people just from that, and we'll get into more, but that's so massive, because it's, you know, people can feel it. People can sense, you know, if you're, I call it slinging your shit, right? And so if you're just slinging your shit and out there trying to do a deal to make rent or pay rent, which obviously at the time that this happened to you, you could have had you come from that place, you could have like really justified trying to basically sign a deal with him at the time, with that, trying to get a commission. Hey, I just got my car out, just out of repo. I just had this done. And I need to like sew this guy up so I can, you know, earn some money. But because you didn't come from that standpoint, how it served you in the long run is just, it's a game changer.
Yeah. It's all about long-term relationships, you know? And so, I mean, there's one thing where you can do it that way, right? There's lots of people who've made money by hustling or doing, you know, trying to make a buck, but how is that what's the long-term value there? You know, like it just doesn't work. I mean, people always talk about the hustle and things like that, but it's really about being in alignment, and really that relationship is, I mean, it's forever changed my life, right? I used to be almost 200 pounds, literally, was like 180, 200 pounds, single mom. And he's taught me some lifelong lessons about serving, as well as, you know, be able to ask for the sale and be able to.
And I'm sure like manifesting, right? So manifesting what you want, the man of your dreams, the life of your dreams. So that part of the, hey, thanks, Corey. Good to see you on here. So how did that, because we talk a lot about that and in regards to the manifestation, and we'll get into the social media nuggets that you can share with everyone. But how, that's one of the big things that we believe in too. It's the transformation, not just information. So once you had that transformation, probably, I don't know, did a vision board, wrote out your perfect day, started seeing the kind of person that you wanted to be, the kind of person that you wanted to marry, and this kind of thing. And I don't know if you did that. I would guess that you did. Yeah. I would guess just from like picking up what you're laying down, that is something that happened.
Yeah.
But how did that, I guess, part, real quick, how did that play into, I guess, once you started, putting out there to the universe what you wanted, and that kind of, how did that take shape?
Going back to the situation, we are where we're at right now is because of the decisions we've made in the past, right? So, and just being appreciative of what you have right now. So that's one of the things I really learned from my mentors, was like being appreciative of what you have now, but always eager for more. And talking about manifesting and marketing, we always, those actually are two very similar things, because if in marketing, you need to know exactly where you want to go, right? So even in real estate, you work with your coaches or with your students. Where do you want to go? Like, how much money do you want to make? And then backwards planning. I did another interview with my master sales trainer, Eric Laughlin, and he talks about you need to know where you want to go in order to get there, and then backward plan those steps, and then integrating that with the inner work of manifestation and manifesting. Like, once you know where you want to go, then being able to put that energy out there, because you can do all this social media. We can do videos like this and all the different strategies. There's so many different strategies out there. But if you don't have the right intentions, or if you don't put out that good vibes of what you want, and you're just out there hustling and doing all this, posting and social media and all that stuff, it's pretty much useless if you aren't working on your inner game and the mindset.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and this is so amazing that this talk has went this way, because you see people posting like I've got to turn my freaking notifications off on Facebook. Actually, I'm going to reminder to do today, because I wake up and it's like 89 notifications, right? This great, and I see all the you got to help me with that. Actually, after this, remind me. I'll have you help me. But I want to turn these off, because it's like, these people post in groups, and it's all about their house or their deal or their program. And so you guys, please hear me this. Yes, that's good to do. Yes, you can get leads that way. Is it something that you if you're wholesaling, is it great to post in various networks? Yes, you can do that. But also never forget that, like, if you're not connecting with investors, if you're not adding value to them, if you're not solving a problem for them, it doesn't matter how many things you post. You're still, listen, don't take this the wrong way. You're still going to be struggling. You're still going to have issues connecting the dots. You're going to wonder why no one is commenting, interacting, buying your deals, because you're not, right? If you're not, it's called, like we call it station in the mirror, right? If we talk a lot about, if you're not helping others, and you're not making quick decisions, and you're not doing certain things that you're expecting your clients to do, there's going to be a disconnect. It's not going to happen, right? And so, you guys just make sure, if you're wholesaling, yes, keep posting your stuff, but take what Stacia's saying. You have to work on this inside game. And real quick, Stacia, to get into the social media stuff, what is a routine that you do during the day or in the morning that setting your attention for that day to attract the things that you want to attract? What do you do?
So it keeps going back to my mentor. He taught me to write down your appreciation every day. So I write down 10 things that I appreciate, and that's different from gratitude. So the difference between great, because people always say, I want to write my 10 gratitude, things that I'm grateful for. Grateful is great, but if you change it just slightly to appreciation, it really puts you in the now. Like, I really appreciate the now and being in the present. Exactly. Like gratitude, it's like, oh yeah, I'm grateful I didn't get into that car accident. But I'm, if you change it to appreciation, I appreciate that I'm here now with my family now, appreciating what you got now. And then setting your intention, and it's different than intending to go do something or an action or intending to make something happen. The intention is really a beingness. It's like, what do you want to intend on feeling? So my intention is to be excited. It's my intention is to feel joy, throughout the entire day. And of course, we're going to have those ups and downs. But if you write that down in the morning, you can kind of like help yourself get back to it, because there's things that are always going to help you get you off track. But having that set in the morning, and then the last thing is setting your delegation, which basically is putting your order into the universe. What do you want? Telling your assistant, the universe, what you want to achieve. And it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow or a year from now, but once you put it out there, the universe is working for you.
Absolutely. So, hey, you and we could chat about this, and I would love it. We could literally chat about, but it's so funny because so many times we see this, like people that are wholesaling or flipping, they're looking at like the deal, right? And they wonder why they went through this program and that program and spent 50 grand here and 60 grand there, and they're still struggling. And 99% of the time, it comes down to like, it doesn't matter if you can have like the best training, the best deal in front of you. If this isn't fixed, everything else is a wreck, right? If you're going to be emotional about every single thing, if you don't understand the appreciation, setting your intention in the morning, being grateful, like if you're not fixed here, everything else, like any relationship, right, or a marriage, it doesn't matter the external. You're just treating the fruit of the tree. You're not really treating the root of the problem. So make sure, you guys and gals, that you're taking this advice from Stacia, that you're fixing the root in this inside of here. And then the stuff she's going to share with you now, as far as things that you can do in your social media to get more followers, to engage with people at a deeper level, is really, you're going to notice that the results are just going to be a lot better, basically. So share with us. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I do many things. I'm a consultant, marketing consultant, and strategist, as well as I work for a flipper here in Seattle, San Diego, where we flip 10 to 15 houses a month. And it's definitely, like you said, it's a business. So, and not getting emotional about it. So if you really are creating a business, it's all about the numbers. And if for some reason it just doesn't work out, it's just either about the numbers, or energetically, we're talking about manifesting. Maybe there was something underneath that you weren't supposed to have that deal. Like, exactly. For some reason, my mentor always tells me, for some reason, even though he really wanted that deal, but maybe for some reason there was oil under there, or there was some permit issue that, the universe was looking out for you, and that deal just wasn't for you.
Yeah, finding the good in stuff not working out, or what we think is not working out. Huge. So share with us, Stacia. I'll have you share it with the viewers here and everything, and the listeners. Share with us, I guess, first of all, most people obviously heard of social media. Like if they haven't heard of social media, freaking I'm gonna like pimp slap somebody. But like, first of all, share with us why social media is Well, people know like what it is, but I guess what am I trying to ask? Share with us why you think right now, in this stage in 2018, almost mid 2018, why is it so vital that people really, really start either building their brand now or scale if they have a brand, build it to another level? Let's start out. Let's say someone has no experience. How can they clean up their social media and brand themselves in the right way? Give some advice to people on that.
So social media, Facebook, it is a people person or people platform, right? It's all about being social networking. So one of the things we had talked about was, making sure that your brand is on point, whether, your photo, your profile photo, you want to show yourself, a professional photo and actually show you, not your dog, not you looking like you just got out of the club or you just got out of jail. Okay. Like you want to make sure that you have a professional photo that once people connect with you, you want them, they're going to be looking you up. They're going to be seeing, what do you do for a living? What, who are you connected with? Who do we have in common? Like, what kind of things are you posting? You want to be someone that someone actually wants to be connected to.
Absolutely. So if someone wanted to, obviously, so platform wise, if you're, obviously really, wholesaling or investing in real estate, the top platforms that I think that you absolutely need to build your image on. Number one is Facebook. And not in any particular order, okay? But number one, Facebook. Number two, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, maybe even I'd say more important. But Facebook is. There's so many groups. It's where people's attention. Listen, you guys. Some people go, "Well, I don't like Facebook." Great, get over it. Because if your client's attention is here, right? If your client's attention is here and you're not capturing it, that's your fault. And I'm telling you guys this. If you're not on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, then absolutely today you need to go on and set up an account, and you need to start understanding that. Get over, your own. Well, I don't like it. Okay, listen. I want to encourage you to really grow and stretch yourself and get over it. And I'm being nice and kind about this, because if this is where your client's attention is, then you need to be there. You need to be in front of them. And I'm telling you, with hundreds of millions of people on Facebook daily, okay, constantly checking their Facebook, on LinkedIn daily, on Instagram daily, these platforms, just like Gary Vaynerchuk said, if you don't do this now and either build your image and your platform on social media or scale it to really be a sought after expert, you're going to look back in 3, 4, 5 years and absolutely kick yourself and go, why are these people like doing, how did they do 41 deals? Like a friend of mine, 41 deals last month, right? How? Because he branded himself as an expert and everyone knows it, right? Through social media and they know his logo, they know his image, they know who he is, he's smoking a cigar, whatever. And so love to you, Mark Evans, much love, buddy. So, he goes by the DM, so he's branded himself, right, over time. And so if somebody hasn't started yet, Stacia, where can they start? Let's talk about Facebook platform first. How can they clean up their imaging or their branding on Facebook or start, basically, what are some things they should do?
Well, number one, I get this a lot because some people are like, well, I don't want to bug my friends and my family. Like, I have my personal page, but I don't want to post there because it's personal. It's that. Well, create another page. Create another page that's a business page, because I think it's very high. You need to network. Okay, so if you're not networking on your profile page, which is different from a public page, a business page, right? The thing is that you need to have a business page in order to run ads and become a professional, like an actual business. But you also need to have a personal profile page to create that page, right? So and it's really a pay to play, platform. So if you create a business page, you're going to have to do Facebook advertising in order to reach people, because Facebook is only going to show a certain amount of people who like your page. But you also need to have that profile page. So get over it, like you just said, get over it, because if you want to win, then you got to be in front of where people are. And if you want to make the excuse that, well, I don't like it, I don't like Facebook, well then, that's the kind of results you're going to get. Your competition is crushing it on Facebook. So
there's people, Stacia, that I've heard that spend, hundreds of people go, I would never spend $100,000 a month on Facebook ads. That's stupid, right? That's the mindset of lack. That's the mindset of people that are going to stay at that where they are, struggling to just make it to the next month. And people go, well, I would never do that. Well, you don't have to spend that much. But if those people that are spending $100,000 are making 3 or 4 or 2 or 5 million, right? So like, if you
they definitely learned how to scale, right? They're spending that much because can you imagine how much they're getting back? So it's not how much money you put in, it's how much you get back. And if you were if I were to tell you that if you invested $1 and you made $1 back or made $1.50 back, would you do it?
Absolutely.
You would do that all day long, right? If you put in $1 and you got $2 back, like if you're spending $500,000 a month, then imagine what they're getting back in return.
And listen, those of you that are wholesaling, if you wanted to start out small, okay, you could actually, let's say that you have your Facebook page. First thing on your Facebook page, you want to clean up your image. You want to have a professional image. You can look up Stacia's. You can look up mine. Personally, you can see how we have ours. You want a nice, clean, professional image first and foremost that represents what you want people to basically see, right, and attract. So
who are you? Have a nice image. You can't have, you want the image to be clean, right? You don't want to have too much text because it's going to flag you. You can only have 20% of the image to have some kind of text. So it's pretty smart. Facebook will show that it only has, if you have over 20%, they will say that they're going to flag your account and have someone review it. And the text on the banner, you should also have not only what you do or maybe your tagline or your business, but maybe even offering some kind of freebie offer. So if you have some kind of ebook or some kind of checklist or something that you can give away, you always want to be building your list with some kind of bait, or as they say, or funnel bait, giving away free of value.
And then how can someone that's never set up a Facebook group, Stacia, how did they set up their own Facebook group? Just give a quick snapshot.
A Facebook group or a Facebook page?
Basically, like, I guess explain the difference.
Yeah. So a Facebook group is where you actually have a community of people. So your group is the art of high ticket wholesaling. And so in that group, you can have it as a closed group where people are asked to join and they interact and things like that, which is different than an actual like business page, which is just about you and then has your posts and videos and things that you share. There's really no group interaction. It's just people who liked your page. So
a Facebook, so for those out there, so a Facebook page is like a business page, right? Like our page, Fortune Foreclosures LLC. So a Facebook page is like your business page where people can post reviews. They can, you can add content to them so they see daily. If you post on there consistently, it's going to climb up in your rankings on Google. So if someone searches your business, they can see those reviews. Like ours is like 4.9 out of 5 stars. So they could see those reviews and credibility and all of that. So it's great, you guys, to actually, whether you have a website or not, like these days, to be honest, you don't even need a website. You need a funnel, which we'll talk about here. But so if you're on Facebook, clean it up. Make sure that you have your contact information, that you're easy to reach out to and communicate with. And you can set up a Facebook business page that is for people to actually review your business, that kind of thing. And for you to post content on to grow your organic company ranking on Google searches. And then as far as a group, the group is going to be that you can grow, like if you're adding content, like say that you're a wholesaler, right? Think about starting a group that would be like out-of-state real estate investments, or wholesaling, wholesale deals nationwide, right? Where anyone that's wholesaling can post their deals on there nationwide. Whatever you can do to grow this community and add value to this community, this is something that you can do. You can have multiple groups. I know people that have 20, 30, but if you're just starting your first one, go on and start one, and you'll start really figuring it out from that. And then from there, once you have a group, that's where you can get into like doing, ads and really driving traffic to you or your forums or your investor forums or your business or your website or whatever. Actually promoting, well, one, you can run a Facebook ad, right? And then two, you can actually boost posts. So you can do a post and boost it through your group page. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you find is most effective using Facebook? Like a mixture of both, or what would you say?
Well, the Facebook page, like you were sharing, you had some really great points. It's really like is equivalent to a website nowadays. It's like if you don't have a Facebook page, before it was like if you don't have a website, are you a real business? Now it's like if you don't have a Facebook page, are you in real business? It's really almost like a blog now, right? So you're posting news about your business. You can post events. You can post, get reviews. It'll tell you where your company's at. Your address, your reviews again, your phone number, ways people can contact you. You can actually set up messenger bots to connect with people. If people message you, for them to write the right information to get more information about your business. And the Facebook group, I just think of it as a community, right? So if you want to build community, then you want a Facebook group where you can share, mastermind. You may have some kind of topic where you can connect, like you said, with other wholesalers in your specific niche area. So if you're wholesaling in San Diego, you could be like, wholesaler, San Diego homes, something where it's a niche topic that you can talk about and mastermind or whatever the group is about. And then in that you can share exclusive things, right? It's more of a, it's just all really about community. So it feels private. It feels like you're in there where you're sharing just exclusive content rather than a Facebook page.
Yeah. And then on the group, on the right-hand side of the group, when you guys create it, it asks you to create a description. So in that description, you could actually put this group is created for people to wholesale, blah, blah, blah. And let's say that you have an investor form, right? Or a link or Wufoo form or something, or a website or a funnel that you want to direct them to. You can put this group is specifically for nationwide wholesalers to share their deals, and everybody that wants to wholesale properties, come here and get your best wholesale deals. If you want more information to specifics on what you'd like, click this link, answer a few questions, and we'll get in touch with you personally or whatever. So on the description on the right, when you're building your group, you can put in there a link that leads them back, right? The purpose of a link is to get a lead, okay? It's not like sending them to a website is credibility. A website these days, can it be for driving traffic? Absolutely. But mostly, if you want a lead, right? Give them something, give them a link that they can click on, that you can get their information, and you can reach out and contact them and see what they're doing, how you can help. So that's Facebook. Let's go to, what is your favorite, I guess, from a real estate side? Obviously LinkedIn, Stacia is huge. LinkedIn, you guys, if you're not on LinkedIn, like seriously, go on there, create a LinkedIn profile. You can look at mine personally. Don't want to dive in really, really deep. You can go on LinkedIn and review mine and see how it's set up. I think I have like 14,000 connections or something, and it's continuing to grow. So not bad. But it's just adding value, right? I have a virtual assistant that posts value, posts content. You help me obviously with some things on it. And so from a LinkedIn standpoint, I see LinkedIn as it's a lot of business people. So if you're a wholesaler, you can go on there and type in real estate investor and search for specific areas in the criteria as well, and find people that are real estate investors, specifically in certain areas that are your clients. Reach out and connect with them. What do you recommend, Stacia? Because you're real big on engagement, right? So when people reach out and engage, how do you recommend that they engage with people the first time? Say they're on LinkedIn, they find somebody, they want to shoot them a direct message, or on Facebook. How do they reach out to someone, and how do you recommend them reaching out where it's not offensive, where they feel like they're being sold something?
Oh yeah, I actually have a networking checklist that I can send over to you later. But basically what I do is when people add me as a friend on Facebook, I always connect with them or try to respond back and say, hey, just thank you so much for adding me. I would, love to connect with you. I love networking. Like, if there's anything that I can do for you, please let me know. Like, message me back. I can, get a hold of me here. So it's really like a backyard conversation. It's like if you met someone at a coffee shop, do not send people a long story and try to pitch them on the first message.
Yeah.
Like, if you walk up to a girl in a bar and you say, "Can I get your number?" What's she gonna say? No. No.
Yeah. I see us. It's basically like saying, like, hey, you know what? I'd love to take you home and sleep with you. But can I buy you a drink first? It's like, hey, you got it all backwards, right? And so it's basically like what you say. I hate getting these long ass messages, right? And they're just like, oh my gosh, and so, now so basically your recommendation is if someone adds you, to reply back to them, hey, thanks for adding me, or thanks for reaching out and connecting. And so I personally, now you can set this up like you did for me, Stacia, where they can get an auto reply, right? So when someone connects with you or friends you, like on LinkedIn, we have it set up so it automatically sends them a, hey, thanks for reaching out and connecting. I love connecting with entrepreneurs. By the way, click this, download my free best-selling book. And if you're interested in seeing how you can flip homes, make 10, 20, 30,000 up front without using your money, you can feel free to click this link, and that leads them there. So you can have
better at LinkedIn than I am. But I have similar things that have set up for me on Facebook and on Instagram. So if someone follows me, I also send like a similar message saying, hey, thank you so much for following. I don't know if you saw what I do, but I do this, and this. You can feel free to click the link in the bio and get more information, or sometimes I switch it out with an actual link. So and engaging. We tell I tell people, like our academy members and people that we mentor and coach, if you have a client, obviously friend them on social media and genuinely engage with them, go on, like their pictures, like their stories, mention a little bit about what you saw, obviously like you said, look on their pictures and see if you have something in common. Hey, it looks like we're both a mom, and how old's your daughter? Mine's 20 months old. Like, connect with them on some level. It's typical sales, right? I think you know this. It's form, right? Family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Ask something about one of those things, and you can connect with anybody.
Hey, I repeat. I'm going to post this right now. So repeat what you just said, because honestly, that's the first time I'd heard of that in that.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So repeat. So for those people that are reaching out using social media, repeat what form is.
So form is family, occupation, recreation, or motivation. So what I do is when I meet someone, I always try to bring up something like that. So if I'm at a networking event or if I, meet someone on Facebook or connected with them and I take a look at some of their pictures, I try to connect with them on the level of family. So I'm like, if I meet someone, you introduce yourselves, maybe like ask someone, what do you do for a living? That's your occupation, right? Hey, do you have a family, or oh, do you got kids? You're obviously seeing that they have kids if you're looking on Facebook. Oh, so you connect with them on that level. Oh my gosh, like, well, I have a 20-month baby girl, and oh, how old's your kids? Or I have an older one. I have a 17-year-old. Yeah, I have a 17-year-old who's, just a junior in college. Oh my gosh, teenager's life, right? You can totally relate. And then you might ask something, hey, what do you like to do? What do you do for fun, recreation? Or you can find so much about people on Facebook too. You can see what they do for fun. They hang out at different restaurants or different things. You can connect with them on what they like to do, if they're going hang gliding or whatever, or they just did a run, maybe they did a marathon or something. You can connect with them on what they like to do, for fun, recreation, and then motivation. This is really important, especially in real estate, right? When you're connecting with a homeowner who wants to sell, like, what is their motivation? Like, where do they want to move next, right? What is their next level? What is going to motivate them? What do they really want, right? And so you find and connect with them like, hey, so what are you working on, right? And that's actually one of the questions I always ask too. When I connect with someone on Facebook, I'm like, hey, it was great. I would love to connect with you. Like, what are you working on next? What's super exciting that you're working on, and how, maybe how can I help you with that? How can I get you to that level? Who can I connect with?
Absolutely. Yeah. And, it's everyone, because people I think have a lot of stuff, Stacia, backwards, right? They think like, I'm just going to go find these houses, put them under contract, and throw them on every wholesaling group out there, right? And somebody is bound to buy it. But listen, you guys, if you're like, here's the deal. If you're shitty at connecting with people, if you don't care about people, nobody's going to buy from you, right? First of all. So like, that's something that we talked about earlier. That's something that you have to fix in here first. If you don't fix that here, it don't matter what you post, because if you get on the phone and like, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're like, well, my partner this and my partner that, and you're co-wholesaling stuff and you're all over the place. First of all, that needs to be fixed. Okay. Period. So if you're doing that, I want to encourage you, like, you can go to our site, right? flippingondemand.com, register, watch our webinar, and get on the phone with us and tell us what your challenge is, and let us see how we might be able to give you some free advice and help. But if you're doing this and you're struggling, which you probably are, you have to really, really think about, right? You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So if you're doing this, I'm telling you, from thousands of transactions myself in 13 years in this business, like, you might get lucky and do one deal. But are you going to do 3, 4, 5, 6 a month, 10 a month, 20 a month? No, you're not. So I encourage you to really rethink how you're doing stuff. Listen to what Stacia shared today, right? Take the form advice. That was great. Family, occupation, recreation, motivation. How can you engage with them? How can you connect with them, right? And we talk about it, Stacia, like, there's mainly 3 types of sales. There's like me talking at you, right? And not listening, which is like the freaking worst. That's going to be your lowest level, you guys and gals, of connection and sales with people. So it's you talking at the person, telling them why they should buy your deal and why it's so good and blah, blah, blah. That's going to be your lowest, basically, success rate. The second way is asking them questions to corner them into answering you in a certain manner, like a car dealership. So even if they do business with you, the business that they do with you is going to be like, they're going to leave and like not feel good about it, right? Even if they do business with you, they're not going to feel good. The deal falls out, they cancel, whatever the case is. But the number one way to connect with people is what we call a heartfelt connection. It's what you showed earlier, Stacia, that you had with Thatch. It's that this person really cares about me. They really are listening to me. They really are understanding where I'm at now, where I want to be, and why I want to be there. Very important. And what are my challenges? And can we help? Can we fix those problems that you're having? Can we fix it? If we can, let's do that. Let us help you fix these problems you're having, right? And so that is where you guys, I think a lot of stuff that we're talking about today goes back to this heartfelt connection. Is you have to engage with people on a loving, caring, genuine level instead of, out there posting deals and that you don't have probably, or posting deals and selling. People don't want to be sold, they want to buy. So how are you going to get them?
Another way that people can do this is tell stories, because facts tell, but stories sell.
Yeah.
Facts tell, but stories sell. And I always tell you, tell people where you came from, right? Where you came from and how you got there. And, maybe you don't have a story yet either, but, leverage other people's story. Maybe you have a partner that has done these things and tell their story. But it's all about creating a story. People can relate to those. And that's something that you can post rather than just posting your listings or, posting this house. Like, tell the story about the house. This family, they had to move. They had to move quickly. The husband had just got a new job, and they're all the way on the other side of the country, and they needed to sell quick. And we were able to come in and buy it and make it beautiful and new again. And now here it's ready for the new homeowner.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The crazy thing is that you say that, I say that all the time. Stories sell, facts tell. And so, but you see, and that's a good tip. Those of you that are creating a LinkedIn profile, make sure that where it gives your information you can put, you don't have to put multi-million-dollar producer. You don't have to put all this crap. Tell your story, right? Like, that's a great place that you can actually, yes, you want to put some things on who you are, but tell your story, because I can tell you guys, my story's kind of pretty freaking diverse, from where I came from, where I grew up, a lot of the challenges and things that I had against me, being able to play some pro ball, it being in the real estate business, starting a business with no experience. Like, I've experienced a lot of things that I can connect and relate to with a lot of vast amount of people. And so if you haven't, that's okay. But I think, like, the young generation, everyone talks about hustle, hustle, hustle. I think the best thing that some of you that are 40, 50, 55, 70 have in common for you is you have freaking real life experience. Like, you have a story to tell. And so a lot of you that are younger, like, great, you have a story too. But I'm saying, like, people that are 40, 50, 60, if you're trying to wholesale or you want to get into the real estate flipping business and you don't know where to start, like, your story that you can use to inspire, right? If you go out and do it, now you can use that story to inspire and motivate and encourage other people that hate their freaking job, that want to leave their job, that hey, I took a risk and did it, you can do it too, right? And so we talked a little about Facebook. Now tell the people out there, I'm going to give all of you on here, Stacia's, like, she's my personal gal, so you can't take her fully, okay? but I'll give you a little bit of her to use. But as far as the plus she's married, so don't think about it. But as far as, like, the services that you provide, Stacia, if people, first of all, tell me a little about that so I can post on the screen as far as the things that you can provide, and then I'll put how people can reach out and get in touch with you if they want some, they basically want to have a free call with you, which you said that you would do, for basically people that want some guidance or are stuck or having a problem or something that's painful, how you might be able to help them. But tell us the services that you provide.
My time is pretty limited, but I think that I'm really good at connecting with people, and I think everybody's different, right? So that's why I said, DJ, I'm willing to give, a couple of sessions out to people and really get to know what you're struggling with. Because I think my genius is really creating a strategy of what you're doing now and how we can make it better and where you want to go. And so the things that I talk about is learning a little bit more about who you are as a business, and then sharing with you tools and tips that you can do to create a system that will work for you, whether it's doing one video a week and telling you what topics and things I can pull out from you on what your genius is and how we can create a system where it's something that you can do, it's something that's realistic, whether it's doing one post a week or, sticking to a certain platform, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. So we'll create a system for you that is reasonable and that you can actually say, okay, this week I'm going to do 2 hours of, filming this type of videos, and then we'll have it posted and ready to go. And this is what we need to get done. We need to create a funnel. And so that's what I've done with you as well, too, is we've created your webinar platform and funnel and put it all together and work one-on-one where we share screens and things like that. So the quick call will be just kind of a quick overview of what you need, and then you can take it from there, or we can work together further. Yeah,
and you guys, I asked Stacia works with what you heard her talk about, Thatch, right? A very, very successful gentleman, multimillionaire. His story is crazy. She does stuff for me, so she works with cool people, okay? And so you have to be cool, right? But I asked her, say, hey, Stacia, I want to have you on to give people some insight on different things that are really important in the social media realm, and how, people that are wholesaling or just whatever doing on these platforms, how to use them better. So you guys have got some great tips today. So people that want to reach out, I asked her if she could just have maybe at most a handful of free sessions. So if you want to take one of these sessions and talk to Stacia personally and see how she can help you, how can they reach you? It's www.staciakennedy.com /30 minutes, 30 MIN. 30 min. So I'm going to show this on the screen. So it's www.staciakennedy.com /30 MIN. So it's on the screen here. So those of you, if you want to ramp up your social media, if you want to kill it in Facebook ads, okay? Like this is the gal that can literally give you advice. Actually, you can, if it's a good fit, you can hire her. But she can give you some great advice. So go to this website right now, www.staciakennedy.com /30 MIN. Or Stacia, if they're on Facebook, obviously they are, but can they just shoot you a direct message? Is it Stacia Kennedy on Facebook? I forget. Yes, it's Stacia Kennedy. My business page is Stacia Kennedy as well, but you can go to facebook.com /MIT Stacia to go directly to that page. Okay, so for a free call, they can go to this one, staciakennedy.com /30 MIN. So you guys, if you're today I'll recap some things that we shared with you. We talked a lot about intention, about being in alignment. Stacia dropped a great nugget called form, family, occupation, recreation, and what was that? Motivation, right? These are the things that will allow you to bond and connect and be able to build rapport and build a connection, a genuine connection with people here. on social media. Also, we talked about enhancing, Stacia gave some great advice on enhancing your Facebook personal page and how to create a Facebook business page, as well as a group that you can use to promote more business, put out content that can help people. Listen, you guys, this is like how big it is for information. If you guys have heard, I'm going to give a different subject, but there's an app called Waze, right? WAZ. It's the number one, GPS app. And I was looking this up with a friend the other day, Corey. In 2004, it was created. They did some preliminary stuff. In 2009, they reframed it, basically launched it. In 2012, in 3 years, it sold for 1.3 billion to, I believe it was Google. So if you don't think that like, my point is that people's attention, if you're marketing to where people's attention is, I don't care if it's an app, I don't care if it's, social media, you have to be on where people's attention is, and you have to communicate how people like to communicate. Most people like to direct message now. They like to text. They like social media because they can comment stuff and they don't have to freaking talk to people, right? So a lot of people, the longer this goes, the more that all of us are being programmed, and the more, I don't want to say the worse it's going to get, but the more and more people are going to not. How many people now you call that don't answer your phone? 90% if they don't recognize the number. So, but if you text them, if you direct message them, so use these social media platforms to you guys to direct message, right? If you find an investor, direct message them on LinkedIn, direct message them on Facebook. But when you message them, right, Stacia, you gave some great advice. Kind of repeat what you shared here to wrap this up for people. What did you share as far as when you message them? What don't you want to do and what do you want to do? Like if you're messaging them on social media.
Well, you don't want to. I thought it was so funny. This one person said, I'm going to make this short. And then it was like a 2-paragraph pitch about their business. I'm like, dude, this is not short.
Yeah.
Don't keep it short. It's networking. It's just, respond back as simply like you would a friend, hey, just thanks for being here. If this is what I do, would love to get to know who you are. You can always ask me questions. I'm open door right here in Messenger. Get back to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So make sure that, and you don't want to send out long messages. Obviously, as far as what you're saying, if I'm hearing this right, and you want to keep it very like two friends, talking over, like just shooting the breeze.
Yeah.
Very like informal. But the cool thing is, you guys and gals, is that LinkedIn has rolled out, and they use direct messaging now and have for quite some time. So they don't have the inbox thing anymore or InMail. So you can direct message them. So if you're utilizing social media, first of all, make sure that you take Stacia's advice. I would highly encourage you, because she's only going to do a handful of these for free. Jump on, go to this website, book a free call with her now, and get some great advice. Also, when you're on social media, make sure that you're creating a Facebook page for your business. You're having people give you reviews. You're building that. When you're on sites such as LinkedIn, you can go on and literally search by people, literally like real estate investor in this area. And listen, go on. If you don't know how to do it, go on YouTube, right? Go on YouTube, watch how to do it. And again, if any of you are looking at getting some free advice on how you can, I'm just typing this in. Never been the greatest smeller, but if those of you I put on the screen now right here, just go to www.flippingondemand.com. You can watch, you can literally, watch a quick webinar, see who I am. You can register. You can literally, if you want, you can see how we can help you, but go through the steps first. And literally, if you're having any kind of problem, okay, reach out to Stacia. If it's social media, if it's marketing, reach out, shoot her a direct message. She'd be happy to give you some advice, I'm sure. Also, reach out to us. You can direct message me. You can comment in the post here. Share this with people you know, and reach out to us and let us know. Like if it's marketing, right? Reach out to Stacia directly. Stacia Kennedy, what is your biggest challenge you're having right now? And what's frustrating you that you need help with? Same thing with us. If you're struggling on wholesaling or flipping and you're just having that tough time, kick it to the next level, or even getting started and you don't know where to start, shoot me a direct message, you guys. I'll give you some free information, free tips on how you can basically maybe figure out this problem that you're having. So with that said, you guys, make sure that you book this call with Stacia. Reach out to us if you need to. We're going to sign off here. Have a great day. Thanks for being on here, Stacia. And we'll see you guys real soon. We'll see you next week, 12:45 p.m. Wednesday, every week, The Art of High Ticket Wholesaling. I love you guys. Thank you, Stacia, for being on. You're awesome, and sharing your knowledge and info. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.